What's going on, everybody? It's Zack the Tactical Gnome.
JP the Armored Chef.
And this tall, goofy motherfucker over here, our buddy Scotty. He's on with us tonight.
Howdy, Scott. Thanks for coming on.
So tonight, if you didn't see by the title, it is called Alphabet Boy Soup. Basically, because of all the stupidity going on, I brought up the stuff with the ATF and what's been going on with the ATF with Poly 80, SB Tactical, and a few other places. This whole past week kind of been a shit show for the firearms industry with the ATF, if you haven't been noticing. Definitely producing a lot of good memes, though. But for the most part, it's been interesting. John, what have you read on or heard on anything?
Well, I'll be honest. One of the things Mac had a video on that I watched yesterday or the day before that I actually kind of was feeling semi-hopeful about was that it seems like the brace thing isn't quite as cut and dry right now as it originally sounded like. Basically, the way it sounded is that these are guidelines right now, and so technically no rules have actually changed yet. They're like those letters that went out that got everyone kind of panicked on the brace thing were more or less supposed to be like suggested guidelines. So that, I mean, everything that I can tell looks like it's going to be possibly go really bad, but also as of right now, that hasn't happened yet. So we have to. I mean, honestly, like we'll see how effed it is once it actually rolls out. Like it's still in the comment period, which I love how they conveniently put the comment period right during the holiday season to boot. Not that the comments did anything for bump stocks, so it is what it is there. As far as the Poly 80 stuff, that seems a little more shady. They kind of just decided, we're gonna just reinterpret what readily convertible to shoot a projectile. They basically moved the line in the sand there, and now they went as far as like, apparently you got to shut that off. That's super loud. Like that's louder than everything. Whatever the dinging is there.
Ding.
Yeah, right. But the fact that they were literally like confiscating stuff and like using like bank records and things to get customer bases seems a little shady. I get that if they're going to enforce things as we consider this a firearm now that's off the books. Like I get why they try to trace it, but all of a sudden, like that's like very invasive the way they're doing a lot of this stuff. Now, I will say, as far as, and this isn't legal advice, I'm certainly not a lawyer, but I will say for the arm brace stuff, say that the one good thing I would say to come out of this, if they end up doing it the way it sounds, is that if you already had a pistol that you were planning on sending on a Form 1 for, you may get away with doing that for free now without paying the $200. So that could be also a technical upside.
I don't really see an upside to any of it.
I mean, it's also de facto like they're almost forcing the largest catalog of gun owners and what they have. So it is basically a registration to that end, which is pretty jacked up, though.
Yeah. So I'm going to just read like the very beginning of this, it's the unofficial draft of the ATF letter. It says, Department of Justice, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, docket number 2020R-10. Objective factors for classifying weapons with stabilizing braces. Summary: the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is publishing the objective factors it considers when evaluating firearms with an attached stabilizing brace to determine whether they are considered firearms under the National Firearm Act, NFA, and or the Gun Control Act, the GCA. ATF publishes this notice to inform and invite comment from the industry and public on the proposed guidance, objective factors for classifying weapons with stabilizing braces prior to issuing a final document. Upon issuance of final guidance, ATF will provide additional information to aid persons and companies and complying with federal law and regulations. The notice also outlines ATF's enforcement priorities regarding persons who, prior to publication of this notice, made or acquired in good faith firearms equipped with stabilizing braces. Finally, this notice previews ATF's and the Department of Justice's plan to subsequently implement a separate process for current possessors of stabilized equipped firearms to choose to register such firearm in compliance with NFA, including an expedited application process and a retroactive exemption for such firearms from the collection of NFA taxes.
So basically what I'm understanding is the ATF is bored because of COVID, so they just want to do something exciting.
Well, I think it's partly that, and right after everything happened with the election, a panel group, I don't know the exact numbers, but there was a group of people from the ATF that went and met with the Biden-Harris people and basically went, okay, so what's the deal? And about a week after that is when all this shit kicked off between the ATF and everybody with the stabilizing braces, and now it's moved over to the Poly 80 stuff. And there was one company, like I said, I can't remember the name of the company, but they were caught. They're a suppressor company, and supposedly it had something to do with suppressors or solvent traps or solvent traps being made into suppressors. I don't know. The whole deal was
from what I heard there, the ones that were actually a problem were the ones like there was. So I guess some companies, especially there was like at least one out of China. They were literally giving like the freeze plugs already had holes in them. Like it was like literally already.
Oh yeah.
Basically, what they were is they were from Wish and stuff like that. They didn't actually have holes in them. They'd send you a whole basic suppressor with no holes in them. Then they have little dimples where you're supposed to drill out. And I mean, it made it too simple. But the whole downfall of it is you're not getting the quality you would with a normal suppressor. And I'm not going to lie, we've tried them out before. They mess with your trajectory so much. I couldn't even hit the target from 100 yards. I mean, it threw off.
So like a giant point of aim or point of impact shift.
Well, no, it would mess every single round up. Every single round was different. Wow. Like, I was hitting every single part of the target. I mean, even at 50 yards, it was all over the paper. It was like the barrel was made of rubber.
That's pretty wild. I mean,
here's a little more on Poly 80. I just went on to the article that I had tagged on Facebook. It's from the Firearms blog, and this kind of, I'll read just what the article said. It says, Nevada-based firearms company Polymer 80 was raided by the ATF yesterday. So this article was published December 11th, so that would have been December 10th.
How many dogs got shot?
Pardon me?
I said, how many dogs got shot?
None that I see.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was.
In an apparent move against so-called ghost guns, Polymer 80 build kits with tools and... Wait, hold on. Polymer 80 builds kits with tools and a bit of skill can be turned into firearm receivers, traditionally termed 80% receivers because they are missing a critical 20% of the features needed to be a working firearm. Media outlets and others unfamiliar with gun and manufacturing technologies have given these kits the name ghost guns, which, remember that one idiot politician from somewhere said that, those ghost guns shoot a 30 caliber clip in half a second.
Something along those lines. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But see, my whole problem with this is though that, I mean, you can legally make a firearms, which is the whole basis of this thing. So if they're saying that this makes it too easy to do, I mean, because like theoretically, like the way their whole business model was, like you're supposed to send in the fucking paperwork still. you're supposed to do. I mean, like if you were going to take that kit and build it, you were supposed to do what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean, like it's like I don't know. I think that's the part of this that blows my mind is that the like where they get to change the idea of, well, this is too easy to build, even though it's perfectly legal for you to build your own firearm if you do all your paperwork. They're making it, you know, they're going after especially consumers. Now, you did have these jackasses that were like, that one company was selling 3D printed fucking lightning links, basically, stuff like that.
Yeah, so he got in some deep shit for that.
I mean, I can understand some of the bans on the 80%ers, but back to the whole SBR thing, I think that is one of the dumbest laws out there.
Well,
I mean,
the braces themselves kind of showed that.
I think SBR
pistol braces, it is no different than any other
SBSs
firearm.
and SBRs are the dumbest freaking rule on the.
I mean, who cares if the rifle has a short barrel? It's not any advantage to somebody that doesn't know how to use them.
And honestly, if anything, like you're actually, I mean, in a lot of cases, you're neutering a lot of the power of most rifle rounds, especially. I mean, obviously, like a lot of the pistol caliber, you know, carbine style, that stuff. Yeah, you're usually I think it's after like, I think for 9mm anything past like 10-inch barrel, you're actually losing out on velocity. But yeah, so I get that stuff wanting to be short. I don't know.
But if I want to put a freaking stock on my AR-9 that I'm building with an 8.3-inch barrel, I should be able to do that and not have to pay a $200 tax stamp.
Yeah, I mean, it should honestly just be considered a rifle at that point. I mean, if you don't have it on there,
or
then
carbine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with any pistols, you're still able to carry conceal it. But I can see as they put the stock on there, just consider it a rifle. You're not allowed to carry concealment anymore. That would be the only law that I would change.
But see, if you keep the pistol brace on it, then it's considered a pistol, and you can still carry a freaking AR-9 with an 8.3-inch barrel and a pistol brace on it.
Yeah, mine has a 4-inch barrel.
I wouldn't say that you could carry concealed.
Put it underneath. Well, no,
I mean, it depends.
My hoodie.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. If you have like a sling set up the right way with the right clothing, your cover garment, that could absolutely be possible.
I was using a single point sling with the pistol brace on my AR-9, and it just had the quick connect at the buttstock, just the clip on.
I mean, remember, I made the joke during our concealed carry class. I said, so if I have an AR pistol in 5.56 and I put a 100-round beta drum mag on it, and now, mind you, the guy I asked is a Alliance police officer. I said, does that mean legally I can carry that? And he goes, legally, yes. But if you do, I'm going to call you a dumbass. Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you know, it might technically be illegal, but I mean, it's certainly going to be frowned upon. I feel like by most Leos.
I mean, yeah, especially when you roll up to a car and there's, you know, a 10.5 AR pistol with a pistol brace and a 100-round beta mag sitting on your front seat.
Now, unless it's a braced Draco and you're wearing like a hot red Adidas tracksuit and it's hidden under.
No, it's got to be black or multicam. You cannot wear a hot red one.
Oh no, I think if you're rocking the Draco and it is, now I'm almost picturing you have to have a very correct car for the whole thing.
Wait, well, are we talking the Draco with the drum on it?
Why not?
I was going to say if we're rocking a
spikes and bedazzled.
If you're going to rock a Draco with a 100-round or the 75-round drum mag on it, then yeah, you might be able to get away with the red tracksuit.
Yeah, I'm like picturing basically.
You have to stand. You have to be able to do a slob squat with a cigarette in your mouth on top of a one of those cement posts out in front of a Walmart or something.
I don't think they'll even sell you a Draco if you can't do that.
I think
it's mandatory.
A regular slob squat, or just be able to slob squat on a post.
I thought it was you just had to have any old regular tracksuit to be able to get one.
No. You have to have an Adidas tracksuit.
Really? That's a new one.
Well, hold on. No, I believe Puma and Pony are also both accepted.
See?
Listen, your child even has pony clothing. Come on.
Yeah, but I think true. I would only
basically it has to be some sort of pseudo sportswear that at some point Korn probably wore on stage. That's the line.
Since it is wintertime, it is Gorka weather, so you can rock a Gorka while doing it.
Okay, that's fair.
As Scott's
I'm wrapping
dropping
this.
beer.
It's fucking empty.
So, actually, you know what? The plate carrier actually just reminded me. So
He
my
seriously just asked if he's allowed to swear on here. You didn't hear me already say the F-bomb twice?
No, I think he gave up on the initial episodes of trying to edit out the F-bomb because
we don't edit any. We let this roll. I now take the Joe Rogan approach. We put it out as it comes out.
We also need to I do have to watch a little bit because there is a small child here.
Now I will.
he's not letting them until he's 18, and if he does before then, he's in trouble.
Oh, well, I'm saying 15. He's allowed to swear.
So
I don't know. Grandma kicked my ass.
He's not getting away with much after all the crap we all did.
Anyways, so as you can see, there's been a lot, and I don't have all the articles, but what I did read was from the ATF, and there's actually more to it. Not that I want to bore all you guys, but let me run down through this here.
Back to the tracksuits.
Yeah, you talk about the track. Actually, we were looking at tanks just a little while ago.
Nice.
I can buy a T-72 for what? 100? What did it say? 150,000?
Oh, what a bargain!
No, that was in England.
It was in England, but it's 150,000 whatever, and I could buy a T-72 Serbian battle tank.
So wait, in England you can buy a battle tank, but you pretty much can't get a handgun. So that's
I can buy a battle tank, but I can't own a handgun. Hey, there we go, Sherman. That's what I've been looking for.
Too big and bulky.
Yeah,
but it'll fit in the little part of the barn with the 30 cal mounted on the back of it.
Nice.
That's the small one. That's the old version.
That's fine.
No, you want the updated version.
I want the patent. The M50.
Yes. The M50 had the bigger gun. So
Can I just have one to drive down 224 as a holiday?
Anyways, so we went from ATF to talking about tanks.
Well, here actually, real quick before, because the plate carrier reminded me, I got a package from Arizona today, and I have to call them, and I'm kind of ticked off. The new carrier came without plates and without the they literally sent me like half my order for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. So it's Saturday. I couldn't call.
Yeah. There goes what, a 3-hour phone call?
Yeah, usually, because it's. I mean, well, think especially with everything that's been going on, like this past year, demand's been absolutely ridiculous for them, which is what it is. And
I'm not buying a Nazi half track, even though
there is one down on 14.
Not anymore.
Locally available.
I got rid of it. I was looking at buying it. That thing was a heat, but I actually was going to buy it and redo it.
I thought about redoing it, trying to figure out.
They had an old
tracks to put on.
U.S. Army World War II era half track sitting there all rusted out. But he just showed me a picture of the old Nazi half track, and he's like, and I was like, I'm not buying a Nazi half track.
No, it's just reminding me.
Yeah, I mean, I won't even buy a BMW, but
Been there, done that.
Wow.
I meant for different reasons than your track record with yours.
Yeah, well. So, I went deer hunting today and got a deer. I'm happy.
Yes.
You type in tanks for sale, and Chevy Suburbans come up.
But it's a limo. It's a limo.
Oh,
no.
It's a stretched Suburban?
No,
it looks like
that's just a regular.
It looks like a regular Suburban.
I mean, it could technically be
like armored. On the other side of the screen, there's a tank.
I mean, that it always is the possibility.
I was referring to the one wrapping gifts, but
oh, shots fired!
You murder in your sleep.
You're the one that called her tank ass.
Gosh, that's not how you make friends.
That's going on for years. I'm used to it. I don't have to.
Yeah, well, I used to work with
I personally
yeah, I used to work with him. I used to get drawings of a tank and an ass on my freaking computer.
What?
I personally, well, never mind. I'm not going to go there. That's for something off the show I'll talk about.
How
He wants to die.
So, other than me getting a deer today, how's the wine going, Mr. Winemaker?
Well, it's going in this glass right now, so there's that. Some of my Pinot Noir. I mean, shit.
I would like a bottle. She's asking for one.
Wino, we know this.
Yes, we know this. Yeah, she will get at least a bottle of each.
Thank you.
I feel like this episode kind of like I had all this shit planned out, And then I invited Scotty over, and then everything kind of went to hell.
Oh yeah, and then he's like, "Hey, you know what we need for the show? A plate carrier with a Nerf gun." Like that's.
Hey, actually, I was gonna wear the plate carrier with the skull ball cloth on.
Nice. What happened to that?
You gotta shoot Tanya for not wrapping the presents fast enough.
Listen, I'm wrapping. It's not easy.
So, what else?
The hell did you just say?
So we have. You just hit the rabbit, dude.
I didn't.
Thou shall ingest a satchel of Richards.
He didn't move too much out of his box.
Don't be shooting.
So,
Don't be shooting, Lemmy.
I also fixed my tier 1 concealed holster today.
What happened to it? I didn't know it was broken.
Oh no, I adjusted it finally. I fixed it all and set it up the right way.
Like actually set it up for you. That makes a little more sense now. I was like,
I don't. So I'm gonna probably order the clip claw, instead of the 2 individual belt clips.
See, I don't like clips at all.
I like it better. Huh?
I don't like clips at all on holsters, like any style.
I'm starting not to be a fan of the clips, and I think I'd rather just run a concealment, like a concealment claw.
Belt loops, bro. Belt loops. If you're gonna run a clip, the only one that really seems to actually like be like pretty reliable is that Ulti clip, because it actually sandwiches, it like locks on. But in general, clips pretty much suck. Everyone that I've ever seen that like try to do anything serious with them, that's usually when you see them draw a whole fucking holster with their gun.
Yeah.
Like just clips have always been no bueno to me.
And then
I do have the one holster I do have that has a clip on it. I put an Ulti clip on it. So
yeah, I'm trying to think of what's all happened since our last show. I mean, not much. I went up and seen a friend of ours at Brimstone Adventures. Shout out to them.
Oh, you finally got up there, huh?
Yeah, awesome little shop. I mean, great little shop. Got a lot of cool stuff in there for all you adventure people. I do believe they do online orders. I'm not 100% sure. I will get back to you on that. But a bunch of cool stuff. Bought myself a pair of nice hunting gloves that I used today. Thank God, because my hands were fucking frozen.
See,
today.
they must be good luck. I guess. Did they keep?
So here's the funny thing. Not only is it today I got a deer, but it's my niece's boyfriend's birthday, who is got 3 deers today. He's a big deer hunter, or he didn't get 3 deers today, but he got 3 deers this season. He's a huge deer hunter, and it's also the anniversary of the episode that we did with Opie and the Smokies last year.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
I'm assuming all of that, plus the new gloves, plus being able to get out early and get into my uncle's tree stand. I had a lot of luck on my side today.
Well, generally early or late is like, I mean, especially this time of year when it's colder, like the deer are only moving in certain hours unless they're getting really pushed around.
I'll tell you what, when I was in the stand at 7:30, I hit, and the stand is not too far. Like I have to go through a little bit of a tree line to get to the stand. And I wasn't even to that, and at 7:15, right as it's starting to get to where you can see,
yeah,
I mean, the gunfire just started. And by the time I got into the stand and situated, it sounded like there was a small gunfight going on in the opposite corner of the woods, because we have state game lands.
Well, sometimes that's perfect because that ends up getting a lot of stuff moving.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it didn't stop for almost like. It was just boom, boom, after one, after another for almost like an hour. And then it stopped, and then I shot mine. And then after I got back to the house, I heard like maybe a handful more gunshots. And then I didn't hear anything for almost 2 hours. And then it started up again. Like, that was about 10 o'clock. It started up again.
Yeah, it's because you're close to state game lands. Basically, the people walking in and out are making them jump out from their bedding spots. I mean, my area is kind of a little bit harder to hunt because there's nothing but farmlands around me.
You got a couple cool videos of that doe being right under your tree stand though this year.
Yeah, I had a little buck come right between the tree stand and the tree through my ladder.
I haven't seen like in person a legal buck in so many years now. It's like.
Do you even remember what they look like?
I do. Like it's funny though. The still like lifetime. The biggest buck I've ever seen like in person while I was still like up and walking was a spike like 4 years ago when I was archery hunting. That got close enough that I seriously said, "Hey, you know what? I don't think it's breaking the rules if he's close enough that I can just mark him with a knife." Like because he almost got nose to nose with me. I actually had to kick the log I was on to scare him away. Like he was actually close enough to he could have harmed me. And when I say spike, this guy was ridiculous. He's literally they were straight up, like literally each side was straight up, and they were about a foot tall and sharp.
Wow.
Yeah.
The one I've been after for the past 3 years is 10 point. This thing's got at least a 30-inch spread. And
Wow.
I mean, I see him every year. But the issue is where I hunt in the back corner of my property, there's 2 or 3 places where the does always bed down. And he always picks the doe that's bedded down in the brush where I can't get a shot.
Oh, shit.
Instead of coming up to the area where all the blackberries are, the food plot, everything else, he's staying right in the brush going after that doe.
Actually, you know what? I lied. I realized I actually saw 2 legal buck this year, but here in the city, like literally, Zach, you know how like the end of my street's like a dead end, like there's 2 more houses, and then there's like that little mini patch of woods.
Yeah.
Literally, there was two bucks that kept fighting over the same doe that was kind of hiding in that tiny little patch of woods right there. I mean, tiny. I mean, I can't be more than 30 or 40 foot deep before you're back to another road. And they were both taking turns on her whenever. Well, the bigger one kept humping her and then chasing the little one off. Then at one point he went to go chase him off, and the little one came back around and got to her too. But it was yeah, and they were both.
He showed me pictures of this friggin' deer that he has, dude. Like you can, if he had to zoom in to actually see it because otherwise you can't tell the difference between it and the damn brush it's in.
I mean,
wow,
you can see the back right there, so you can see the width.
Yeah,
this isn't
that's
from
a
the trail
big.
cam. This is actually I took it with my cell phone.
Okay,
It is a monster.
Can you modify, like trim back some of the brush there to make it more advantageous to where you can get a shot from there?
No.
Without it ruining
it goes down basically into a creek bed.
Okay.
So I can't really get down into there, and it's thick.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Actually, I don't know if you can hold it up there that you could see it zoomed in.
Here, I'll just bring up the actual picture from the trail cam.
Now, how many days did you actually make it out this year, Zach?
For Ohio, I made it out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, because Tuesday it's the snowstorm. So Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, and then today.
Okay.
So
see now
5 days.
See, like for me now, like the only chance I'll probably have is if Allegheny County has much longer seasons than where I usually like to hunt. So if I get out at all, which has been 0 so far this year, it's probably going to be somewhere semi-local, and that can be really weird just because like you're just so much. Even if you find some decent spots here, they're always like close to stuff. So I mean, it's just different. Plus, you can't use a rifle in Allegheny County. You have to use like a shotgun.
Which
it's because of population.
It is, and that's why that's part of the reason why you can't use a rifle in Ohio because of population, and it's
flat ground,
flat as shit.
The straight wall thing is such a weird rule that you guys have for the whole state.
It is weird, but I'll tell you what. You know, my big thing is I'm gonna not knock that whole thing because I know a couple straight wall calibers that we are allowed to use over here that will go just as far as 308 rounds.
No.
Well, I mean, but like
the farthest flattest shooting rounds, the 444 for the straight walls, they're not too terrible, but you're still only reaching out 400 yards.
I mean, but for most shots that I would take, 100 yards, 150 yards at most.
Oh, you can do that easily with my.
Well, what was that?
I mean, 100 to 150 yards at most are the shots that I would take.
I'll show them this deer.
Now, Zach, what caliber? I already forgot what it was. I gave you that casing from Jaeger's lever gun.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, wow, yeah, he's got he's got a really wide spread there.
Yeah, and he's a monster. I can't get him in close enough.
I mean, I'm not saying that, you can go way out there, but for 100-yard, 150-yard, I can easily use a straight wall cartridge. 450 Bushmaster, 4570.
I mean, what we sight my 450 out here?
125.
Yeah, and that's pushing it. That's if I'm in the fields. So I have that set for 125. I have my
Your 6.5 Creedmoor. We just wanted to see it hit something.
Yeah, we hit a squash out there, probably about 150 yards. I think it was funny. I'm taking out golf balls.
Yeah.
Chunkin soon, please. No,
but it's my big thing is like I told myself when I went out at the beginning of the season. It's been since I was 18 years old, out in the woods with a hunting license, and I haven't had time to go out or anything. So I went out this year, and the last 2 days of the main season, I seen deer. So I was like, all right, my plan was, I had already made the plan to go and do what I did today. And when I went out today, I basically told myself if it was brown and decent size, it was getting shot. I wasn't going to play the chase the buck game because that's what I did like the first 2 days. And I missed some doe on the first day. Like I really didn't have a shot to get to him because something spooked him. But I did see doe on the first day. Yeah. But so I told myself today that if I seen,
I'm not being picky. If it's reasonable size, I'm taking it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if buck doe, it's getting shot. And I'm happy. It was cool. It definitely something that I enjoy, and hopefully once Levi gets a little bit older, I can teach him hunting and stuff. My dad taught me how to hunt, and it was definitely something that I enjoyed. I missed doing it. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. See, that's
it's peaceful being in the damn woods.
That's actually one of the things, especially where I love archery so much, is people don't realize how much nature you like. It's a different experience whenever you especially you're all camoed up and you just sit and be really freaking quiet and still for a couple hours. Like I've been within 10 feet of a red fox. I've had
Oh yeah.
I actually had a squirrel almost jump on me the one time.
I've had squirrel use my shotguns and rifle both when I've hunted in PA and Ohio. I've had them use my barrel as a tree limb.
Yeah, I like early archery season for that. I mean, you could dress down. You're more comfortable sitting out there for long periods.
Yeah, it's usually warmer.
I've had turkeys land on my stand and had to push them off.
That's fun. Now,
the owls were cool though. That was neat.
Yeah, actually, the last day. So basically, how I look at it in Ohio, you guys get 2 weeks straight in PA, where in Ohio we get 1 week and then 2 additional days.
Okay.
Right before Christmas. So like the main deer season, the last day I was out, I was sitting and I had a fox squirrel literally within probably 10 feet of me. And then he started coming over and was around, and I was kind of like, trying to like shoo him away a little bit because I didn't want him being like kind of alerting to the deer that I was there. And, but up in PA, like I said, I've been turkey hunting where I've had squirrel run across my barrel. But it's cool. It's neat because if you sit still long enough, like, the one thing turkey hunting, the one thing that I learned just with going with my dad the couple times that I did go turkey hunting is I have a habit of calling in turkeys in orange.
That's neat.
I must be really good at running a turkey call because they think it's an actual damn turkey. And
Well, that's kind of the goal.
I've had to yell at dudes. Like, I'm like, hey, guy, I'm here. And they'll look and they're just like, huh, hey, you're like 5 feet from me. Go away. And they'll like turn around and see my orange hat or something in the tree. And it's like, go away.
Yeah, like well, first off, I thought you hunt on your own property, right? So isn't your stuff all like no trespassing or no one else should be really be on it?
Here in Ohio, yes. But when I used to turkey hunt, we'd hunt. When I had turkey hunted, I haven't been turkey hunting since I was like 16. We did that in PA. And we'd hunt property up in PA. And it was part public land, part private land.
Okay, yeah.
And
444 Marlin ballistics, 3.5-inch drop at 200 yards.
Jesus God.
Yeah, I was looking up the trajectories of the 444 Marlins.
Okay, is the 440? Is that what Jaeger had there that I brought you the casing back?
No, that's 4570.
4570.
Yeah, that's an older school round. That's actually a pretty heavy round. They don't fly as fat or as flat as the 444s. The 444 with the 265 grain, 24-inch barrel, 200 yards is 3.5-inch drop.
Wow.
So 3.5-inch drop at 200 yards.
I like how this went from alphabet boys to
we're talking about hunting instead. So it's
hunting and shit.
Yeah, that's.
Here, we'll sum up the ATF part very simply.
They're jackasses.
They're a government overreach. They should have been disbanded after Ruby Ridge. If not after Waco, they should have all been disbanded.
Yeah, that's probably legit there.
The NFA is bullshit. Short barrel rifles, short barreled shotguns, and suppressors should be legal because both short barrel rifles and shotguns, there is no need for them to be on the list. Suppressors are actually good for your hearing, so you don't blow your eardrums out.
Well, think about the really crazy part with the NFA there. Like say for instance about like SBSs, like it kind of flies right in the face of all like the kind of like the anti-gunners statements because like they literally said that SBSs should be an NFA item because they have no military purpose. And yet, what are they always trying to say now is we need to ban all this stuff if it has a military purpose, basically, or if it's too similar to a military thing. But that was literally like back when they came up with the AOW.
If you look at my regular Facebook account,
yeah.
So the argument that got brought up a couple weeks ago is one of my coworkers says, "Oh, military weapon or AR-15s and stuff like that are military weapons, and everybody can afford one of them." And I said, no, he's like, well, they're weapons of war. And I says, okay, well, think what you want, but here, let me show you the prices of actual weapons of war.
Yeah, when you see the price of the M16s and you're like, oh.
I pulled up a M16 that was full auto, an MP5 that was full auto, a belt-fed machine gun, and some other stuff. And he's like, and I was like, now, I can go buy those as a civilian, but I don't have $35,000 to throw at a water-cooled, belt-fed World War II era machine gun.
But and the other part,
I don't have $85,000 to throw at a 249 saw.
Now, could you imagine what it would cost in today's market to actually feed the damn thing too, if you were going to run a belt fed?
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the other thing,
I mean, that's literally why we didn't have machine guns. When like my dad a few times had good like back in the 80s, he had chances at really good deals on M16s and stuff, and he always thought they were like stupid because he's like, why do you want to waste that much ammo? Now, that was back when ammo was like comparatively to today, it was practically free, especially because he had.
For me, it would be fun. It would just be a fun thing. Like a full auto MP5 is. I'm an MP5 fanboy. There's nothing going to ever change that.
I will say they are incredibly fun to shoot. I have shot
when I have not. So
that is literally one of the most comfortable shooting as far as. It is so smooth running. Like, they are impressive. I like them a lot.
It would never be, unless I had like a belt fed, like a 249 saw, it would never be just hold the trigger and just dump it.
Well, that was
would be burst,
Well, that was the weird part for my my bachelor party.
If I had a 249 saw, I'd purposely just run a 300 round belt through it just to see if I could melt it down.
Oh, I'd be putting targets out there, seeing what I can draw.
Well, that's I got the shoot for my bachelor party. The coolest one probably that they had a 1919, on a tripod.
Oh yeah,
and like they literally set up like bowling pins and shit.
I always said if I ever got a federal firearms license or was capable of buying one, a 1919, I would buy one for my stepdad because when I was a kid, I always, of course, liked all the old World War II movies and all the old military movies. Before we tore it down, we had an old silo at the farm, and he says, we'll put it up in the silo. Like, they used to do in a World War II movie, crawl up the silo and put it up there. And ever since then, I even told the wife and everything, I says, if I ever get the money or get a chance to buy a real one, I will buy a real one so me and him both can shoot it just for shits and giggles. Like, it would just be neat to have, just belt fed, just.
I think it cost you about $45 per belt just to have the ammo.
Let me go through $150 real quick here. Just
yeah, I mean I've got to shoot those ones. I've got to shoot the Modus.
Well, that's actually what was.
I love the MG34. That thing was just insane.
See,
42.
Like Zach talking about doing the burst. That was actually the thing where everyone else was just doing straight mag dumps at my bachelor party because we had like 30 different. I mean, it was they brought all kinds of stuff.
Mag dump on just because I would like to. Well, two. There's two guns that I would do full on mag dumps. Glock 18 because it's a fucking Glock 18, and I think that's about the only way you should shoot a Glock 18.
Well, the one that was super fast was they actually had a modified Ruger 1022 that was full auto from an open bolt, and that thing was like it was the cyclet rate was just comedically fast. I mean that and the Chris Vector were so fast.
Chris Vector is stupid.
I've never shot one of them.
No, dude, remind me to show you the cyclic rate on it. It's got the fastest cyclic rate. Well, dude, it is.
It's the fastest unless you're comparing it against the Ruger 1022. At which point it goes like, it's
stupid, dude.
It is crazy fast. Now that was the one that was really cool. I think that's actually what led to me buying a can finally was because they had a can on the Vector, and that was so. Well, especially obviously 45 is probably one of the best calibers to run a can on, just because it's naturally subsonic and everything else there is.
Two World Wars. Oh no, wait, that's just the 1911. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was no Chris Vector for those. That would be that.
Well, I mean, could you imagine? So, just for shits and giggles, since we've kind of went the fuck off topic with everything, could you imagine
never do that
if they had instead of the guns they had back then, but had the M4s and the M110s and the Chris Vectors and the MP5.
To be fair,
that during World War II.
But here's the thing: that style of warfare, you needed a full size battle cartridge, so a lot of that stuff wouldn't have been because they were working over much.
Well, you have the AR-10s and the 308s and shit like that. The M14s, the M110, which is the snipe.
Well, the 308 wouldn't have existed yet, so it would have been a 30-06 would have been the closest thing to it at that point.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, imagine if they had the calibers and the rifles and the weapons that we do now back then. Could you imagine the body counts? The body count would be.
I mean, the body count was already crazy.
It was already astronomical. The amount of, the body count would be just ridiculous.
Yeah, it would have been pretty insane. But that was the thing that the guys that were running the machine gun shoot for my bachelor party, they kept no, just go ahead, hold on. I'm like, dude, you understand? I was taught by a military firearms instructor how to shoot machine guns when I was a kid. I can't make myself do more than a couple round bursts. I couldn't get my brain to do it. I would stay on target. Hit stuff. I think actually this was one of the few times where the people that were not as much gun guys that were there actually had more fun because they were literally just holding on to that sumbitch and riding it out.
So the wife had posted something to our group page earlier, and it has a picture of a deer and somebody with a Channel 3 News microphone facing the deer. And the deer says, I think we have a pretty good chance this season. The average hunter is getting older, and millennials are just not interested in hunting anymore. Now, with that being said, that is kind of sad because it really is. Like, there's
You remember family dinners on Sunday?
there's a lot of people just not interested in hunting anymore. Give me that.
No, you are not having my Nerf gun. I already shot your wife.
Yeah, it's his Nerf gun. He just told you.
I will shoot him with it.
How long are we at? We're at 45 minutes.
Yeah, we should probably start wrapping this up here.
Yeah, I think we can wrap this up.
I'm off topic.
Yeah, we're all off topic.
Good.
At
least it's fun this way.
Yeah, this one's kind of off topic and fun, but
we'll blame that on Scott. It's all his fault for some reason.
Yeah, it's all Scott's fault.
Even though we never stay on topic, so whatever.
No, we don't.
I don't think there's been an episode where he doesn't cover.
Well, with that,
When there's guests, sometimes it helps. That's because then we have to ask them stuff. That's when we sort of stay focused.
No. With that,
Don't be pointing the Nerf gun at the internet.
For tonight. I doubt we'll have one before Christmas, so you guys all have a good Christmas.
Yes.
Have a good New Year's. Ow.
When you can single-hand reload the Nerf gun.
I'm gonna beat a cripple already over here. But everybody have a good Christmas.
Yes.
Have a
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy
great holiday
Hanukkah,
for
whatever your holiday of choice, I guess. For
I do believe the fire department's going out because somebody just went by with lights and sirens on. So,
shit. All right. Well, hey.
yeah, it's gonna get real loud here in a second. So we're gonna call it good. Everybody have a good evening. Thanks for joining us. I
Thanks
know
for
it's
listening.
a short one.
Yeah.
But you guys have a good one. Tactical Gnome.
JP.
And JP. Scotty over here.
I so wish I had the forethought to get the Austin Powers Scott on the board, so I could have had that happen a few times. But
Scotty don't. Scotty don't. With that, Daddy Brigade podcast out. See you all next year.